Let's take a quick look at the Phoenix Reptile Expo. It was a rainy Saturday morning, so I decided to head to the Mesa Convention Center to go to the Phoenix Reptile Expo. As always, there's a line of people waiting outside.
Moves quick because they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people taking money. So come on down. I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve, that's for sure.
Me too. You can see the building is packed and still a ton of people checking in, coming in. There's the line. There's the owner of Timberline. And I'm trying to chase down James Badman now. He's trying to sneak away. Expo looks like it's another success. Nothing to say?
Oh, I think it was you. You didn't pose it as a question.
I didn't, but you know,
it was it's been a good turnout. Yes.
And it's early yet. Come on down.
Come on down.
James is one of the owners of the Reptile Expo, and everyone there, of course, is friendly.
Hi, how are ya?
Timberline, and they are so nice that they are just giving me super worms. Come down and get your own.
Free night crawlers.
Vince even got night crawlers.
Love it.
So Vince has worms.
I have worms now.
I'd like to claim that they gave them to me because I'm special, but as you see, they're giving them away to anybody. And here's Zoo Med.
It's a new Zoo Med product, a tortoise yard. Easy to assemble. It just folds all up. Great little thing, especially for like putting hatchlings in, moving them around the yard.
The great thing about the Reptile Expo is you can buy your reptile, buy the enclosure, buy a shirt, find books or information on how to care for the animal, pretty much everything you need. I'll try to show a sampling of the many different species of snakes, lizards, and tortoises I saw at the Reptile Expo. But it's always a good thing to get there early on a Saturday morning, because some species, there may only be 1 or 2 of them. And if you're looking for that special reptile, you better get it before it's gone. Maybe it's a tiny gecko. Or perhaps a tokay gecko morph.
This is for Kelly Paul, who's getting into tokay geckos, a pied tokay gecko. Very cool.
When I arrived at the expo, Drew Reinhardt, one of the other owners of the expo, announced my arrival, saying Jerry Fife has arrived and he's as old as dirt. Yeah, he can only hope that he lives that long. But it's nice to be recognized. Here's some cool Uromastyx, tortoises of different species, some leopard tortoises right there, snakes of every type, size, morph that you could want. If you come to the expo, it's $12 to get in per adult, $5 for kids. And one of the good things, there's plenty of parking, and parking is free. So come on down. That guy gives 2 thumbs up. Some cool bearded dragons, rhino iguanas, Lewisii hybrids, looks like some Russian tortoises. I mean, just everywhere you look, there's something cool. Hopefully you can find something you haven't seen before, and it's worth coming down, even if you don't plan to buy something. Of course, like a lot of people, they don't plan to buy anything, but they bring their wallet just in case they need that special iguana. And oftentimes they go home with something. Maybe a frilled lizard. That'd be cool. But bearded dragon morphs, all the different snakes, just spectacular to see. hognose tricolor. There's some albino African spurred tortoises. Yep, my brother Richard was the first one that produced the ivory tortoise. And now there's a number of different albinos out there. Look at those leopard geckos, the different colors. There's a green anaconda. You just don't know what you're going to find. You can add to your butterfly fly collection. Beautiful Burmese star tortoise. Reptile expos have changed a lot over the last 25, 30 years. It used to be just about everything you saw at the expo was wild caught. And now, look at all these hognose snakes. Different color phases. And, of course, everything you see is captive born. It used to be we'd go to see the next exciting reptile that was imported. Sometimes something we'd never seen before. Well, those days are basically over. Well, there's still some animals that are imported into the pet trade. Most of it is just captive born from breeders such as myself and all these other people that are at the expo. Another change is the number of expos that are held. We used to all look forward to Daytona and the expo in Florida. And there just weren't expos in every state and every month of the year like it seems there are now. Everyone used to go there, listen to talks. People from across the country and around the world came. And now it's changed considerably. There are a few major expos in a few different places. And of course, the Phoenix Expo is one of those, as the Turtle and Tortoise Preservation Group Conference is held immediately prior to the expo, which brings in people from across the country. But it's a tremendous expo, a lot of variety and interesting animals to see.
Okay, and what do you call this morph?
This, I believe, is an Enchi pie.
Very spectacular.
I definitely have no idea of all the different ball python morphs. How about a millipede? If you thought the expo was all snakes and lizards and turtles and tortoises, you'd be wrong. There are also a number of insect vendors with different types of tarantulas, scorpions, and every other insect or bug you could be interested in. California king snake. Some more tortoises. Even some aquatic turtles. Of course, lots of different geckos.
Love the poison dart frogs. Just very cool. Get that one? That's behind the... Sucks as well. Sleepies.
Get your own beetle colony. It could literally take you hours
Frilled dragons.
to see everything that's here, to go through all the little cases and see each and every reptile. Well, there's a lot of different boas and geckos. Some of the things that are less common are a little harder to spot and to see. But crested geckos, frogs, everything is just amazing. To think it wasn't that many years ago that just about everything you see here either hadn't been developed as far as that morph or wasn't even in the pet industry. You know, I mentioned the crested geckos. Wasn't that long ago they thought they were extinct. And now they're just a common pet lizard. How about an albino green iguana? Maybe a monkey-tailed skink. Albino tegu. Or hats for albino. Leatherback, bearded dragon. Just everything you could want. I still remember when the first albino leopard gecko was produced and how exciting that was. And now that'd just be a common everyday lizard. But just cool to see all the different vendors and how many people are working with reptiles. Here's some adult radiated tortoises. Spectacular species, native to Madagascar. Also on the U.S. endangered species list. Some Herman's tortoises. Different iguana species, spiny-tailed iguanas, cyclura. There's yellow pectinata and pied pectinata that turn into a spectacular black and white lizard.
This is an official video. This is Andy, Arizona Tortoise Compound.
How's it going, guys? Nice to see everybody.
Got little Aldabras here for sale, and about every other tortoise species you can think of.
Do you recognize this one?
A little Choco,
Little Chaco.
Take my money.
star tortoises, radiated tortoises, African spurs, tortoises of all types. Are those little pancakes?
I'm like, Jerry, look up. He's in the zone, man.
Oh man.
I'm over here trying to photobomb.
There you
Okay.
go. We're trying to be on video.
And there's some other weird guy and another weird guy. Let's get something better looking in the picture.
As usual, I could have worded that a little bit better. Let's get someone better looking in the picture, not something. At any rate, it's a lot of fun.
This is Heather. She is the official show vet.
I am. I'm inspecting Cameron. His
Inspecting.
turtles look healthy, but I don't know about them. They look a little bit over.
Look at these things. Spectacular little spotted turtles. Some little aldabrans. Some sort of aquatic thing. I'm not into aquatics, but I do recognize a mata. Huh?
What's the matter with them?
Yellowfoots. Redfoots.
All the feet.
Can you see the feet? Not really. Some beautiful stars.
I didn't really answer the question, what's wrong with aquatics? Because, well, I probably didn't really catch it. But I should say there's nothing wrong with aquatics. There's some spectacular aquatic turtles, but I live in a desert. And being in the desert, water's just not the easiest of things. So I've avoided maintaining aquatic reptiles. I like to maintain species you can keep outside. There's a Gila monster, one of our native reptiles, and a copperhead. And while these venomous snakes aren't available for sale, they are on display, and it's cool to see. Here's the common western diamondback rattlesnake. That, and next to it, the Mojave rattlesnake, are probably our two most common species around Phoenix. There's a blacktail rattlesnake and the speckled rattlesnake. Cool thing about the speckled rattlesnake, depending geographically where they're from, you've got all different color variations, such as these two shown here. Next to that would be a tiger rattlesnake, similar to the speckled. Here's a sidewinder rattlesnake. It's just cool to watch those as they slide across the sand in the desert. Here's one of my favorites, the Arizona black rattlesnake. There's a couple different color variations of them as well. And one you don't see too often, the Grand Canyon rattlesnake. And our state reptile, the Arizona ridge-nosed rattlesnake. And that's a banded rock rattlesnake. Just lots of cool things to see at the expo.
Well, though, so he's completely over your hand.
So like
There it is.
that, okay.
You lift up a little bit as he's starting to stick.
Oh, okay.
And then you bring him back. That's how you stop him from getting to your head.
Gotcha. Oh, he's
Very
quick.
cool.
Like I'm still kind of like poking around and trying to.
Panther chameleons, veiled chameleons. I'm not even sure what other species there might have been, but just cool to see. And of course you can get books. There's a book by yours truly. Another one. Must be a good dealer. You'll find plants for tropical setups and also plants for desert terrariums. Or just for your front porch.
And no reptile show's complete without a visit to the McMorrises.
Hello, Jerry.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Love that introduction you got coming in the building.
Yeah, they called me as old as dirt.
I guess someone heard Drew's introduction of me, but here's some more things to make your terrarium more exciting. See if you can match what ZooMed does in their setup with this aquarium coming up.
The ZooMed exhibit, just spectacular. That's what you can do with some of these plants. What's that snake?
Oh, she's a butters.
A what?
A butters small python.
Banana ball python.
A banana ball python. Very cool. Okay, this is Arizona United Animal
Coalition.
That works for me. This is Mark. Is this an indigo?
This is an indigo.
Wow. Now, if you look underneath the neck there, you see that red? That is just one spectacular snake. Is this a Florida one or a Texas one?
Eastern.
Eastern indigo on the U.S. endangered species list.
Yeah, we got an interstate commerce permit for it to bring it from California over here.
Wow, very cool. Beautiful snake. One of my old favorites when I used to be into snakes.
As you wander around the expo, you can find a little bit of everything and meet a lot of cool people. Just a lot of fun. So head on out to the Phoenix Reptile Expo. I always want to remind people that are new to reptiles that those little dilly cups that they see all these animals in are not how they're kept. This is strictly just for display. Talk to the vendors, learn how to keep the animal, make sure that it's the best choice for you.
She'll be kind of like this, but yellow and bigger than her.
Personally, I've selected to keep reptiles that do well in the Phoenix, Arizona climate. I've avoided tropical species, and I generally get species that are vegetarian, as I don't have an interest in raising rats or raising crickets or superworms. So take all those things into consideration, as well as cage requirements, the size the animal will get, and in the case of a tortoise, it's a long-term commitment. While I was at the Expo, I ran into Ty Park, owner of Iguanaland, and he had talked earlier about how he had developed an interest in reptiles as a child, and of course it became a lifelong passion. I'm not sure what happened to the video I took of Ty, but he and I are both great examples of developing a love for reptiles as a child and carrying it on for the rest of our lives. And it's great to see how many other people have developed that same passion. I have a love for reptiles and are now breeding them and helping to conserve these species so they'll be available for future generations, my children, my grandchildren, and beyond. People not in the hobby often have a hard time understanding the bond someone can develop with their pet lizard, tortoise, or snake.
What do you have to say?
Good morning. Come enjoy the show.
Here's a great example of a father that passed the passion on down to his son. They've got a lot of great reptiles. Some tortoises. There's a diamondback terrapin. Cool. And there's San Esteban Island Chuckawalla. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of the Reptile Expo. Have a great day.